Good morning. I am already hating my day. It's Monday morning. Let's go start our inspection. I'm gonna do the exterior light inspection. So in the beginning, I was really concerned if I can drive a double because backing these up is crazy challenge. So I'm finally done with my second drop at North York. It was quite an easy day, not too hectic. I'm gonna head back to yard and then we will just call it a day. I will now see you tomorrow. Good morning. So it is our day 2 of the week and we are pretty much set up with everything. I thought I don't want to bore you guys showing the inspection again and everything. So we are all set up. We are going to pick up a 40 feet container from the yard and then we're going to drive back to the Cambridge. But today I'm gonna actually share some of my experiences in terms of getting the job in the industry as a new driver, what steps you should take, and some of the mistakes that I have heard so many people do, and fortunately I was not one of them, which helped me a lot. So we'll talk about that and we'll try to get our truck washed today, only if the truck wash is open in my yard. So this is how my truck looks like, and these are all the controls. It's not the cleanest right now. We have to work on the cleaning part today. So these are all the controls. This is for the winters when your tires get stuck, this traction, and then to move your fifth wheel, this is for hill assist, and this is for the suspension. Again, these are the brakes, controls for your AC and defrost, your radio, and some charging ports. These are the cameras for front if any accident happens, so we are safe. Yeah, that is pretty much it. That's how my truck looks like, and I have tons of vests here and the PPE kit, shoes and stuff. So the way my truck works is I work in the morning shift and then there is another guy who runs the night shift in the same truck. So that's why we try to keep it clean for each other. We are also going to talk about some of the things that you should be careful of when you are working in shifts like these. But if you are having your own truck, then you don't really need to worry a lot. All you have to do is to maintain it for yourself. But when we are working in multiple shifts and sharing one truck, there are certain things you need to keep in mind when starting your shift, ending your shift, and what track records you need to have. So we'll talk about that in an entire day. Now let's start our day. We are heading out to CP in Kleinburg, picking up a 40 feet container. So on my way to CP, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite truck stops where I used to stop a lot, but now I do not. Depending on the day, if I have to, I will. If I don't, then I don't. But that's one of like my pet stops. Alright, then now I'm gonna grab a coffee and a sandwich and I'm gonna show you what this stop has to offer. And it is located at Dixie and Drew. Here on my right is the Esso, and it's a truck stop. You can fuel it up, and there is a Tim Hortons there. You can go grab your coffee and stuff. On my left side is the Petropass. There is a lot of truck parking here. In the front, you can fuel from there as well. You can park in the back. Now here, just across the street from Esso, there is, you see, there is a Royal Pan and there is a restaurant. So if I ever crave like Indian chai or something, I can go there, but that's very rare, it's very expensive. And then there is actually a good coffee shop too if you don't like to go to Tim Hortons. So that's the little coffee shop. They have good donuts and nice coffee. You have so many options here. If you run out of anything, these gas stations are a savior. All sort of stuff. There are some driver handbooks, truck handbook, air brakes. So this is how this station is. There are so many options to pick from. You don't have to just stick to one option. Preferably, it's better you have your own home cooked meals because it's expensive, and of course it's not too healthy to eat at these stops. But you know, in the worst case scenarios, if you miss out on your food, you're late, or you feel hungry, you don't have anything, so these stops actually offer many options. Now we got to our first stop to pick up the container. I drive so many different things, sometimes I forget what I'm driving. What it looks like, this is my first location. All the lineups for trucks. So whenever we pick these shipping containers, there is ideally no paperwork. They are supposed to be sent electronically. However, when you are carrying a hazmat load, you have to pick the documents. When it comes to CP yard, if you ever happen to end up going to CP, what you have to do is you have to check in, collect your container, exit the building, and then you have to walk to the problem solve area and they print it automatically once you exit. Just in case if you don't see your paper there, you have to call the customer service. There is directions inside, there is a phone, you can just call them and then they will help you out. Now my Kingpin just got stuck. In this case, I'm gonna try to reverse it. So I'm finally done with my stop in the Cambridge. My container is dropped. The Kingpin just got stuck really badly, but it got figured out. Usually in the new trucks there is a switch. For Kingpin, you don't really have to do all the pulling and everything. You just come in your truck and click it and it's good. But since mine doesn't have one, so I had to do all the struggle. Anyways, while I'm waiting for my dispatch, there is something very important I would like to share for somebody who is going to invest into getting their trucking license and they're doing their research work and stuff like that. I think this information is going to be extremely helpful. So getting your license is actually not going to get you a job, especially when you are getting into something high risk and high responsibility. Most of the companies do not hire, new license holders or somebody who is like having no experience at all. Companies won't hire you because most of the times you won't get insured, and then they don't want to take the risk of getting a new driver on the road without training, because most of the companies do not even have their in-house training programs. So in terms of getting yourself the right school, it's important that you start from TTSAO if you are in Ontario. TTSAO is the Truck Training Schools Association of Ontario. It has a list of schools that are known for their high standards of training program as well as knowledge. So once you get into these schools, you get to basically learn to be a high-skilled driver. Now, number one benefit of going through TTSAO school is that these schools are linked with some member carriers. These member carriers hire newly or passed out drivers from TTSAO schools, and then these members train them and provide them job. That's how you get the experience, that's how you get into the market. So this is number one benefit. Passing out from a school that is recognized by TTSAO will increase your probability and make you eligible to get into the job market with no experience. I will provide a link for reference in the description. If you guys want to go through that link, you will have a list of TTSAO accredited schools and the member carriers that TTSAO deals with. Along with that, there is a list of insurance companies who kind of insures new drivers that has no experience. The other thing that you should look into is the MELT program. MELT program is the mandatory entry-level training program. So let's say you are going into a school and then you are getting your training. It is mandatory for a truck driver to get into this training program and complete their required number of hours in order to get onto the road for the road test. So all the provinces have their different requirements of number of hours. I will also put a link regarding that. But when you get admission into any school, make sure that you go through what the school is providing in terms of your training. So MELT program defines a framework of how much hours you should have in your in-cab, on the road or in-class training, and how much students must be there in the class as compared to the trainer. So basically, usually it's one trainer to 15 students while you are in class training. So this also affects your training since it is more of like practical job. You want to make sure that the school that you're getting into fulfills all the requirements for you to be a better driver on the road. I would suggest that you go through and invest your time and money into schools that have good rapport in the market rather than just investing into any school, because it's going to affect your probability of getting into the job market with no experience at all. The other things you can do is you can ask from the people who are working in the industry if you know anybody, or if you want to visit the schools and you can ask from the students who are going through the school and ask what they're providing, how's the school, if they're learning anything. You will get feedbacks from there and then choose your option wisely from the first step. I hope this information was helpful. I will put the links in the description for reference. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything I can help with, I will try my best to help out, because I understand getting a job into this market with no experience is such a pain, especially when you put a lot of money and time. And there are actually companies, startup companies who hire new drivers, but then there is no in-house training. So you know what, these driving schools teach you how to get the license, but they don't teach you how to work in the industry. In order to do so, you have to get hired with the right company, which has a good reputation in the market, and they are concerned about your safety as well as your standing in the company. So also keep in mind, any mistake done in your personal life while driving or in your professional life while driving will have impact on your license personally and professionally. So now your license is not separate when you are driving off duty or on duty. It is going to be impacted by every single small mistake. So it's better you start wisely. So that was all the information that I wanted to give. I know that's kind of boring, but it's important. Anyways, let's just head out from here. I have to pick another container and then I have to head back to my yard. It's kind of a slow day, not much going on, so I'm gonna make a quick stop to vacuum my truck. It's kind of dusty, and then we'll just head back. So there is a bit of a gap between the fifth wheel and the trailer. I'm going to use the landing gear to reduce the gap. Now landing gear has two options, small and high, like it's a low gear. This is the high gear and this is the low one. It depends from trailer to trailer. Lower gear actually helps you bring the trailer down easily. since this one is loaded, if I put this in a high gear, I won't be able to even move it. And I put it in the lower gear, and it's easy to bring it down. Now there is no gap, I can easily hook it. Now it's 5 p.m. and I am done with my day, pretty much 10-hour long day. However, it was not that busy, so it went smooth. Now please go through the resources for more information regarding the school that you should invest into, MELT program, and make a wise decision when you invest in any school for your driving license, because it's going to make you eligible for the job market, and your probability of being hired as a new driver will definitely increase. For any questions, any concerns, feel free to DM. So before steering ahead, let's learn together, and I'll see you in the next one.